welcome back to the channel. So today we've got the exhaust flanges and their copper gaskets here. So we're going to go ahead and get them bolted up to the headers so that we can get the flex pipe securely mounted on. Real quick, I just want to apologize for how I sound. If you haven't noticed from these recent videos, I've been pretty sick this past week. I'm just now starting to get over it. I do have to have a cough drop in my mouth to be able to talk, so I am sorry. I hope you can stick through this video and see how the exhaust turns out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We're just going ahead and getting those exhaust flanges bolted up to the headers right now, as you can see.
Still got one bolt to put in.
What a tedious job. Yeah, bend that flex pipe.
Doesn't want to bend. Not surprised.
Right. And this also was the flex pipe that we had on the other side in our other video. I'll link that above. But since it's not in the same shape that it was, we're just going to go ahead and try to fit it on this side, since the flange is still on the headers on this side and we haven't touched the passenger side yet.
With flex pipe, it's just back and forth. I swear it takes forever. Yeah.
Anything with vehicles, though, is just patience.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work.
Uh-oh.
Maybe
Okay.
if we just cut a notch right here to expand the flex pipe.
Yeah, just not quite, is it? I love when flex pipe, the most like ghetto exhaust ever, still doesn't have enough bend for you. It's kind of ridiculous that we don't have that much clearance.
Lost expanding tool, so I could just try to get this top flange. Maybe we could get a little bit more clearance out of it. I don't know.
Getting a little destroyed there too.
It's just gonna be a lot of back and forth to see if it'll even work.
Yeah, it's just right there. How frustrating. I'm gonna get ran over by a car. We're getting it slowly but surely. I mean, this side does have less clearance, but the other side has less accessibility though. So,
just trading one thing off for another.
Exactly. I don't know if you want to go too tight though, because I mean, you don't want to ruin it.
Nope. But I don't want to come off.
Right.
Alright, right there, I'm gonna call it. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, that looks pretty solid.
My only worry is if the frame flexes, which it shouldn't because it's got solid engine mounts, but if it does flex, if it'll crush in or if it'll just break it off the clamp.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, whatever. I don't want to go lower than the frame, but it's pointed down. It's just a micro amount, like a ½ an inch lower than the frame, but it's still pointed down a little bit to where the exhaust hopefully will get shot away a touch.
Yeah. I think it'll be fine, especially when a vehicle's moving, you know?
As long as it's not shooting flames and warming up our feet again.
Right. Oh, I know it got so hot in the cab before.
This thing shoots about a foot or two worth of flame when we let off of it. It's running really rich, so.
Yeah. So real quick, since this isn't enough to really make a full video about, but I've mentioned in the video where we talked about what all's been done to the Luv and what our future plans are. I'll link that up here. Mentioned that we would show you guys an update on what happened to the gauges. So I just want to show you that real quick. You can see that some discoloring has happened to them. I mean, it looks kind of interesting. They used to be black and now they're gold and a bronze, and this black one is still like bronze and black. It's weird. So what happened to them is Kyler was at work. He took the Luv one day, and I am assuming it was just from the sun. I'm not even too sure, but it must have faded them, and that's just the color that turned out. I mean, it is kind of a cool color, but it's not really what we want. And we've already had other problems with them, like when we try to calibrate the speed, it works. Like 5 minutes later, it doesn't work anymore. So we're most likely going to be getting different gauges, and there'll definitely be a video out about that once we figure out exactly what we're going to do. But I just real quick wanted to show you guys exactly what happened to the gauges, and anyways, we'll get back to the video about the exhaust. I think that's how we're gonna leave it here on the driver's side. I think flex pipe turned out pretty good. It is stretched quite a bit, so it does up the chances of it breaking, but I mean, it's just flex pipe, just $6, but we only have the one. So now we're gonna go ahead and go to the store so we can get another one for the passenger side, and we'll be right back. So we just went ahead and pulled the header off of the passenger side, see if it'll make it a little bit easier since there's a little bit less accessibility on that side. I don't know if it'll make it easier trying to put it in since the flange will also be on it, but hopefully it will since we just took this off. But I guess we'll find out.
15 inches off of the headers on aftermarket typically is the go-to for maximum torque output on the engine. These are, you know, stock headers, obviously. I don't know how it'll affect it, but hopefully it'll pull a little more torque out too, running a little bit of an exhaust. It is kind of overkill, 2.5 inch, but that's okay. There's some cheap bolts, so I'm afraid to strip them out if I go too tight. Might not make a perfect seal, but that's what it is.
Actually,
Much more clearance on this side, it's going to be way easier to run the pipe.
and we seem to get around the accessibility problem by just pulling the headers out of the vehicle, which works pretty well.
Just need to cut the fender wells out.
Yeah, did partially on that side, but
one of the main reasons we haven't is just to relocate the battery.
yeah, I don't know what my thoughts are on battery relocation, but we might just need to do it.
It's gonna happen no matter what.
I know. Look at us, we're both just over here sniffling like crazy. Alright, so we just got another piece of flex pipe for the passenger side. Here it is. It's a little bit thicker than the other one, so hoping that we'll still be able to fit it, even though it's a little bit different. We got the exact same one from the parts store, but it's not the same. I'm thinking that it's going to work because the passenger side, it may have less accessibility, but there is more clearance. So I'm hoping it'll still work, but I guess we'll find out. Being that it's a little bit wider, like these are a little bit wider, it won't bend just as much as the other one did, so I guess we'll find out. But we're gonna go ahead and get this one put on now. Tyler's getting her jacked up, and we've got the flange bolted up to the header here. So now we're just gonna go ahead and get the flex pipe attached to that. And we've got that right there. So she'll work out pretty good. I just hope that it fits. So right here, we'll show you a little bit how big the difference is on both these pieces of flex pipe.
Yeah, I'm definitely having a lot more issues because the actual webbing is thicker, so it doesn't want to flex nearly as much and get the angle that we had with the other one. It's actually exiting at about the same exact spot, even though it is just a touch bit different, so that makes me pretty happy. Alright, can you grab the U-bolt please to mount it up? Thank you. Alright, and because of the accessibility not being nearly as much on this side, it's going to be kind of a pain to get it actually tightened on.
Yeah, it is.
But at the same time, I love that this side has more clearance. Oh, it made actually running the pipe so much easier. Alright, which way do we want it to be? I'm just happy that we're not going to get flames shot at our feet anymore.
Straight up.
Oh, that actually looks pretty decent in my opinion.
Yeah. And the other side.
Bolt's just exiting right there.
Yeah. Nice and tucked away.
And everyone says that when doing a 4-3 swap on one of these Luvs that you cannot use stock headers. Well, any of you watching and wanting to do it, just get the 2.5-inch flange and adapt it over to the pipe, a little bit of flex pipe, and you can get it to work, obviously.
Flex pipe isn't the #1 go-to, but it's gonna work for what we need at the moment. Clearance wise and price.
Makes me so happy that we actually made it work just because everyone says it's not possible.
Right.
It's like, nope. Ha. Oh, so happy. No. Alright, we need to get this thing tightened on.
I just don't know really how we're gonna get at it.
If I can get a ratchet in from the side, then it'll work.
This one looks a little bit more heavy duty than the first one we're using.
Definitely.
You could just barely see it, but here's how it looks from up top. Over on the passenger side. How it looks up top over on the driver's side. Alright, that's going to be it for today's video. Obviously, we would love to start it up and see how it sounds, even though I don't think it would be too much of a difference, and show...
I disagree.
I know. 18 inches off the headers, I get it. And show you guys how it would sound and all that. But unfortunately, since the Luv isn't running, we're not able to do that. So you guys will just have to stay tuned to see how it sounds later on once we get a distributor for it.
Hopefully once it's running, we can have that in that video.
Yep.
Next Luv video you see should be that, hopefully.
Yep.
You know, don't count on it, but we're gonna try.
So stay tuned for our future videos. If you like this kind of video, give me a like and let me know in the comments below so I know. And subscribe if you'd like to see the next videos with our Luv, and tap that bell if you'd like to get notified every time we post, because we upload every Tuesdays and Fridays. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good one.